The next part of the bones is the spine. Okay, so we have 3 different sections of the spine. Okay, each one of these are numbered as far as the vertebrae goes. Okay, the first top section is cervical. All right, and it is cervical 1 through 7. So if you start up at the top, it's C1, C2, all the way down to C7. That's cervical. The middle part is thoracic, okay, and it's T1 through T12. There are 12 vertebrae for the thoracic part of the spine, okay, and the bottom part is the lumbar. Okay, there's 5 vertebrae for the lumbar. All right, an easy way for me to remember this is relating it to food. I think of 7, 12, and 5. I eat breakfast at 7, lunch at 12, and dinner at 5. Okay, cervical 7, thoracic 12, and lumbar 5. All right? There are bony landmarks on the spine that you need to know. Okay? The bumps on the vertebrae that stick out posteriorly, all right, are the spinous process. They come out towards the back. The spinous process coming out towards the back. All right? Coming out laterally are the transverse process. These are the bumps that come out laterally, okay, from the medial line coming out laterally. They're the most lateral part of the vertebrae, okay? So we know that each one of these are numbered, C1 through C7, T1 through T12, and L1 through L5, okay? There are 2 vertebrae that actually have names. The top 2 vertebrae, C1 is atlas. C2 is axis. Okay, C1 atlas, C2 axis. All right, down at the bottom of the spine, all right, you have the tailbone. That's at the very bottom of the spine. It's actually vertebrae that are fused together here, all right? And that's the tailbone, right at the end here. Superior to the tailbone is the sacrum, another set of vertebrae that are fused together, okay? It is superior to the coccyx. The tailbone is the coccyx. The sacrum that is superior to the coccyx is the sacrum. Okay, the bone is superior to the tailbone is the sacrum. There are 3 ways to study. You have the coloring book, the flashcards and study guides, and the practice guide. On page 25, you have the 3 different sections of spine, the cervical, 7, the thoracic, 12, and the lumbar, 5. On 26, you have the spinous process, the bumps on the spine that stick out posteriorly, the transverse process, the bumps that stick out laterally. You have C1, which is atlas, and C2, which is axis. And on 27, you have the sacrum and coccyx. Remember, coccyx is the tailbone, and sacrum is the bone superior to the tailbone. The 3 sets of vertebrae. The top portion is cervical. There are 7. The middle, thoracic. There are 12. And lumbar, there are 5. The most superior vertebrae, C1, is atlas. Just inferior to C1 is C2 is axis, and the bumps on the vertebrae that stick out posteriorly are the spinous process. The bumps on the vertebrae that stick out laterally are the transverse process. Another name for the tailbone is the coccyx, and the bone superior to the coccyx is the sacrum. At Healing Hands, we have created this practice guide to help you learn the anatomy for the circulatory class. It is available for download in the Study Resources section of this page. Keep in mind that this is a new language, and just like learning a musical instrument, the more you practice, the more fluent you are. There is space for you to write the answer for each part of anatomy that you need to learn. Remember, write it down, copy it, and copy it again.